Well, first off, surprise, I don't have a beard anymore. Hey everybody, welcome to another Blu-ray haul. This time we're talking about the pickups that I've had from February to March. Majority of March, and a lot of the things I picked up were kind of near the end of February. I picked up a shit ton of stuff. One, yes, there's a few things I need to get out of the way. One, I don't have a beard anymore. I'm growing it straight back, so please, I don't want to lose subscribers over this. But it's coming back, don't worry. I just want to kind of look a little bit more like Paul Rudd, okay? Just let me do it. But today I'm actually doing something really special, talking a lot about a lot of the films that I've picked up recently. A lot of it I'm just going to be very brief because a lot of them I have not seen before. But today is special because I'm starting something new. Now, one of the pickups I picked up was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was an amazing, phenomenal film. I got this on Steelbook from Best Buy. I am really excited to own this movie. There's the back of it and Miles Morales on the front, and then we got, you know, the Steelbook. This is the Blu-ray and DVD copy. I didn't get the 4K because 4K I like, but at the same time I don't really like spending that much money. But I am giving away the digital download for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So what I want you to do is comment down below that you're interested in this movie, this digital download. I have never done this before, so I'm going to be putting all your names kind of near the end of the week into this bucket, and I'm going to just draw it randomly, and so that's how I'm going to give this away. But I'm really excited to give this away to somebody. So yeah, that is that. So if you want to get Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse digital download, just comment down below. But then, yeah, this will just be the first Blu-ray that I picked up. I got this, and I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite films from last year. Absolutely deserve it of its Oscar win. I'm absolutely 100% backing of this movie. This movie is fantastic. I absolutely love it. I hope you like it too. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's one of the coolest comic book movies I've ever seen. So let's move on. Alright, so the next 11 films that I picked up were actually from Hamilton Books. I'm sure that many of you probably who are watching this know of Hamilton Books. You can go online to Hamilton Books and get a lot of really fantastic deals on a lot of classic films, Kino Lorber films, boutique shops. There's a lot of things going on that site, and it's just fantastic. And I literally have no idea how I just discovered this, but I am really happy to show you the first 11 movies that I picked up from this boutique label, all about $70 altogether. And yeah, for 11 movies for $70 on Blu-ray, that's a pretty damn good deal. But I'll just go through some of it real quickly. The first movie I got was Best Picture winner from 58. Oh, my bad. Gigi. The really cool thing about Gigi, besides the slipcover that I really like, this Best Picture from 1958, is that you can tell with the bonus feature it actually gives you something extra. So it says, among the array of bonus features, the rare 1949 French movie of Gigi is taken from the only known surviving print. That's awesome. I'm really excited to actually check out both versions, and that's just really neat that this Blu-ray actually has, you know, both of those films in this. So that's the first film that I picked up. Next, we're going to talk about a Kino Lorber film with Gregory Peck, On the Beach. Ava Gardner, Fred Astaire, and Anthony Perkins. Honestly, I just am starting to really develop my interest in Kino Lorber, and honestly don't really know too much about these types of films, but this movie is from 1959, and I'm really excited to check this movie out. Now from there, we're going to go to a John Ford film, Fort Apache. We got John Wayne in it, we got Henry Fonda, Shirley Temple's in it, and Pedro Armendariz. And honestly, I'm really excited because I love most of the things that I've seen by John Ford quite a bit, and so this is going to be a really, really fun film and exciting Western that I'm going to check out soon. Next, I actually got the original Point Blank, and this is with Lee Marvin, and this is something that I'm just really excited about. MGM presented this a long time ago. This movie came out in 1967. A really good time for films, and I really don't know much about it, but I just know this is going to be an exciting film to watch, and so I got a good deal on that as well. Now, continuing with the Western, I actually got The Gunfight at the OK Corral. This is with Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas, two huge names in the movie business, and so I'm excited to check this movie out as well. This movie came out in 1956, and so it's going to be a really good movie as well. Transferring from that to a horror film, we got Christopher Lee in Taste the Blood of Dracula. Now, I'm going to just start my journey with the Christopher Lee Draculas. Now, this is not the first movie I'm going to watch with this. I'm going to try to watch the first Count Dracula film that Christopher Lee is actually in, and I want to actually know what order should I go in for the Christopher Lee Dracula movies, because I'm sure somebody that watches this video knows that order, and I want to find out and want to figure out how. So besides that, I got a modern film. This is probably the modern film that I picked up. A War. So now this is a, I want to say, Danish film. Yes, Danish film. Yeah, this came out in 2015. I'm just really excited to check this movie out. And so there's that. Now moving on to, I guess I can just do a double feature right here. I got Buster Keaton films for really good deals. I got The Saphead and Go West with Battling Butler as well. And I just really love these kind of just boxes that Kino Lorber put them in. And it just got nice slip covers and just a nice little box here. And I just really like Buster Keaton. I really enjoyed The General quite a bit. And honestly, I had a really, really good time with all of the Buster Keaton films that I've seen so far, and honestly I'm just excited to continue that journey. Next we're going to talk about a horror film, The Bad Seed, and this came out pretty early on. I think it's in the 50s, I want to say 56, and it definitely looks like a modern cover for some reason. I've heard this movie is just really eerie and really creepy, so I'm excited to check this movie out as well. And the last thing I picked up from Hamilton Books was another horror movie, Black Sunday. I mean, this is an Italian film, so I'm just really excited to check this out. It came out in 1960. And it's just another horror film that I'm really excited to check out. So that is my big haul from Hamilton Books, and I hope you are checking that out. Down in the description down below, I'm going to provide a link for Hamilton Books, and they're really damn good deals. So let's move on from there. But next, I picked up some Disney movies. I got some animated Disney films from Facebook Marketplace, of all places. The guy was really, really nice, and so I'm excited to talk about the movies I picked up. I've seen all of these movies except for one of them. The first movie that I have seen, Peter Pan. This is the original Peter Pan. Really, really great animated classic film about Peter Pan, Captain Hook, you know, the Lost Boys, all of that stuff. A really, really fun time, and honestly, I'm excited to check it out again. Next, I picked up the old version, and I know it's an old version because I know they just re-released this, The Little Mermaid. I'm excited to check this movie out again with Ariel and Flounder and Sebastian and King Triton and all those people, and animated fish, crabs, and all that stuff, and, you know, mermaids and such. I'm gonna stop talking. Next I got a movie that I haven't seen. This is the one I haven't seen, and that's Princess and the Frog. It was a really good deal. I got this kind of as a batch, and I haven't checked this one out, and I've heard some good things about it, so I'm excited to check out Princess and the Frog. And then finally I got Tangled. I've only seen parts of this movie. I suppose I haven't seen this entire thing, but I really enjoyed watching Tangled. This is the 3D version without the slipcover. Darn. But I'm just excited to get it and finally have it. And so this was a really good deal from Facebook Marketplace and a friend. And now I'm excited to check out these films again. So let's move on from there. So continuing from there, I actually got some animated films, some Studio Ghibli Kids films, and I got Napping Princess and Mary and the Witch's Flower. I'm excited to check these movies out. I'm always excited by Studio Ghibli's like things that they put out. I really love Miyazaki films, and I love a lot of the modern kind of animated classics like Your Name and things like that. And so I'm excited to check these movies out. I've heard really good things about them. I looked into them before. Obviously, I bought them, and so these are always good things to pick up. And I got them for a pretty good deal too as well. So I'm excited to see these and add them to my collection. All right, so the next batch of films are more or less not going to have any theme whatsoever connected to them, just things that I picked up. The first one is My Cousin Vinny, and I have not seen this movie. I know, it's crazy, but I am excited to check this out. I've been told by so many people, and I have one person in particular who quotes this movie all the time, and I just really wish I got it. But now I can, and I finally have it, and so I'm excited to check it out. Joe Pesci as Vinny, so I'm excited to check that out. Next, I actually got The Right Stuff, and this awesome, glorious-looking digibook with the Blu-ray and DVD, and it has this stuff right here, and it's got The Right Stuff here. Surprisingly, I've seen so many things about this film, but I still haven't seen it. And apparently, it's really hard to find on Amazon. I think it's a little bit more expensive, but I picked it up for a pretty good price. And I'm really excited to check this movie out, and I know it's a long one, and I really don't know much else about it, but I'm excited to check it out. Next is a Frank Capra classic, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. Finally just watched Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and I absolutely loved that movie. I really enjoyed Frank Capra's films, and I'm honestly just excited to check this movie out as well. Mr. Deeds Goes to Town is with Gary Cooper and Jean Arthur, and I just heard really fantastic things. And I also love this digibook as well. In fact, these are the types of digibooks that I really like. It's got a glossy finish to it, and it's got, you know, the book in it and the Blu-ray, of course, and just nice bonus features here as well. So I'm excited to check this movie out as well. Next, I actually have another Mr. Holmes. This is an Ian McKellen film. I remember watching the trailer for this years and years ago, but I really never checked into it, and so excited to get it for a really good price. And I've looked into some good things here, and I absolutely love Mr. Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen. Next is actually a Criterion. I actually picked this movie up used, but I'm excited about it because it looks like it's in good condition, and that is Breathless by Godard. Now, this is a really big film, and so I'm gonna wait to watch this film when I'm in the right mood. However, I've heard really good things about this movie. It came out in 1960. It's a part of the French New Wave of film during that time period, and it's just a really groundbreaking film that I know has a lot of influence on a lot of different things. So I'm excited to check this out and be on my Godard journey. I've only honestly seen Weekend, and that one was a really intense film, and yeah, so I'm excited to see Breathless. Next is a film that I actually have seen, and I actually only picked it up because I saw it at Walmart, and I don't like that it has this slipcover, but at the same time, I'm not too mad because it's not really that big of a deal. But that is 127 hours, and what I meant by the slipcover, there's Deadpool right there. It's the Ryan Reynolds slipcover, but if you just reveal that, takes it away. It's a James Franco film about a guy who spent 127 hours stuck and in a canyon and with no one around, and got his arm cut. So anyway, you probably know what this movie is about. I've seen it. I saw it in theaters a long time ago, and I really enjoyed this movie, and I just haven't picked it up, so it was a really good deal. So I picked it up. Next is a Japanese film that I've had on my list forever, but I just have not picked it up, and that is Shin Godzilla. This thing has not went down in price forever, and so I finally picked it up for about $12, and I'm so excited to finally have it. And I know this came out around the same exact time as the Bryan Cranston Godzilla, but I'm actually excited for Godzilla King of Monsters. That's going to be a really good movie. It looks really fun. But I've heard this is the more violent and less animated, less visually appealing, but a better movie than the Godzilla that came out in 2014. So I'm excited to check this movie out, honestly, and just excited to really get into more Godzilla films. I know that that Daisuke has been talking about it, Daisuke Beppu, who is a friend on the channel. I know he's been talking about Godzilla a little bit, and honestly, I think he knows a little bit more about the history of the different eras of Godzilla. So I'm excited to check this out and honestly follow those paths. Alright, next is a movie called Denial, and this movie, I actually was talking to a coworker and they brought it up, and it's about somebody who is a Holocaust denier and the whole court battle pursuing into this this actual, I believe this is an autobiography that actually happened, but yeah, it's acting like the Holocaust never even happened, and that's what the big denial is, and that's just, it's a crazy premise, and so I'm excited to check it out. I've heard actually it's pretty decent. So there's that. Next, I actually picked up a movie from last year that I didn't check out, but it was on a decent price, and it's got some decent critic reviews, and I got Lizzie, which is the Lizzie Borden story, and Her Legend is Written in Blood. It's got Chloe Sevigny and Kristen Stewart, and I like some things Kristen Stewart has done, so I'm excited to check this movie out, and honestly, just look at this different take on Lizzie Borden. I actually want to know a little bit more about her. So those are some more things I picked up, so let's move on from there. So from there, I'm actually going to move to a really silly spot and talk about Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. This movie is with the Lonely Island guys. I absolutely love this movie. When I went to Arkansas with my buddies Seth, Chris, and Daniel, they were just quoting this movie nonstop, and I was just like kind of irritated because I couldn't really join, and I really didn't know. I remember this movie years and years ago, but I finally have seen it, and man, this is movie fun, and it's hilarious, and it's just got some really dumb moments, and I just absolutely love movies like this, and this might actually be one of the best kind of parody films that there is of a lot of different types of movies, and so I had a really good time with this, and I'm really happy to own it now. Next is the movie that beat out Citizen Kane, I believe, in 1941, How Green Was My Valley. I'm excited to see this movie, but also don't really know much about it. But it's directed by John Ford, so I mean, that's got to be something, so I'm excited to see it. So next I actually got a movie that I really don't know much about either, and that is The Killer, starring Chow Yun-fat. And this is a John Woo film. This is one of his first films, I believe, and this is just an exciting film just to check out, and I've heard really great things about this movie, but I got it for a really good deal, and I'm excited to dive in. Next is actually a film that I haven't seen, but I remember the trailers very fondly. I'm about to drop everything, including my life. But that is The Kings of Summer, and I remember this movie. I remember the trailers coming out, and I'm like, I gotta check that movie out, but I just never got a chance to it, and it's got quite a few people in there. I can recognize Ron Swanson right there, Nick Offerman. We got Nick Robinson, Gabriel Basso, Moses Arias, Mary Lynn Raj Scoop, and several other people. Alison Brie's in it as well. But it is directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts, who is the one who directed the King Kong Skull Island. But that's a big shift from that to this, because I know this is a little bit more coming of age, and so I'm excited to check it out because I really love stuff like that. Next is actually the only Ocean's movie I really remember, and that's Ocean's 11. I've seen Ocean's 11 and 12. I have not seen 13 or 8, but I excited to check this movie out again. I have not seen this in forever, though. Honestly, I remember seeing this back in the early 2000s when I was really young. And so I'm excited to check this movie out. Really great cast, really legendary type of movie. Steven Soderbergh, it's a good movie. I know that, and I'm excited to check it out again. So now we're going to actually move on to 2 more Criterions that I forgot to mention, and then a lot of the new releases that have just come out recently. So 2 more Criterion releases I picked up. I actually got these used, and for a good deal. There was like a sale at this used movie store that I go to. The first is Frances Ha by Noah Baumbach. I know this is one of his more recent, I guess 2013, not too long ago, but films, and I absolutely love the things I've seen by Noah Baumbach. I really loved Squid and the Whale. I really loved the Meyerowitz stories. I can't talk. But anyway, I'm just excited to check out more things. I know it's got Greta Gerwig in it, and so I'm just excited to check this movie out. Next is Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. This came out in 1967, directed by Richard Brooks. And I really don't know much about this, but I've always been intrigued by the cover and really intrigued by the story. So those are 2 Criterions that I've actually picked up, and they're in really good condition for used. And I usually don't like to buy used Criterions, but that's just how it is. So let's move on from there to some things that have just recently been released. First is the movie First Man. Now this movie was starring Ryan Gosling, and Damien Chazelle directed this, director of La La Land and Whiplash. I really love this movie, but also at the same time can understand why it didn't get the accolades it deserves. Visually and sonically, this is a very fantastic film with some really great performances, especially by Ryan Gosling. But I just really wish that this movie had a little bit more push towards it. There's the middle part of this movie. It's really just a character piece on Neil Armstrong and the emotions he went through as an astronaut, and the things he was going through in his home life and his relationships and all of that. And so I'm excited to check this movie out again and honestly just give it some more due. The next actually is a movie that my buddy Joey, who is my co-host in my podcast, actually recommended, and that is Piercing. This came out last year, and this is directed by the director of The Eyes of My Mother, which is terrifying if you have not seen that movie. Nicholas Pesce, I want to say Pesci. I don't know how to say his last name. P-E-S-C-E. But anyway, I really am excited to check this movie out. I've heard some mixed things from critics, but it's a psychological horror movie, and I'm just excited to check it out. It's probably really fucked up. So we're going to move on from there to The Standoff at Sparrow Creek. I really love this slipcover. It's like a paper slipcover, and it's from the first-time director of Henry Dunham, and it's just a premise of there's an active shooter that shoots up something, and this vigilante group is one of those members, but they're trying to figure out who it was, and so I think I got a vibe from a Reservoir Dogs type of mystery with this film. So I'm excited to check this movie out. Next is probably one of my favorite films of last year that I really wish that I've talked about a little bit more, but I finally saw it back in January when it finally came around here, and that is Burning. This is from Korea, South Korea. This is Lee Chang-dong's masterpiece. This movie is phenomenal. Honestly, this is probably going to be a Criterion soon, but I just absolutely love this film. This movie is just such an intense an intense emotional thrill ride, and I really don't want to say much more about it, but it's just phenomenal, and it's one of those movies that you definitely need to see and be very patient with it, and that patience is going to drive you insane. And so that movie is just really, really great. The last two movies I picked up came out a little while ago, but I got them for some pretty decent deals. So next, first is Halloween, and this is the remake, well, I guess reboot. There's been so many reboots of Halloween, but this is the official remake and, you know, reboot of Halloween, and this is following up right after the first Halloween and John Carpenter did, and this is also directed by John Carpenter, and with a phenomenal score and just really great performances. There's some flaws with this movie, but it's just a really fun time. I had a really good time watching it in theaters, and I'm excited to check this movie out again. And the last movie I'm talking about is a lot like Popstar, but in a different sense, and that's Bohemian Rhapsody. Really fun movie. I had a really good time. I really liked Rami Malek in this film. I don't really know why it was an Oscar movie. I really kind of disagree with that, but Rami Malek, I'm glad he won, at least for some of his performances as Freddie Mercury, and I really love Queen. It's a really great band, and honestly, it's a good story, even though a lot of the timeline's messed up and a lot of the facts are probably not accurate. But this is the movie that I guess the Queen members, the remaining members like Brian May and all of them, wanted to kind of make, and so that's really nice and exciting. And I'm really happy to own this movie, and I'm just excited to own this. So that is the crazy amount of Blu-rays that I've picked up recently. Once again, I'm sorry about my beard. It'll grow very, very shortly. Also, if you are curious to enter in the giveaway for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm giving away that digital download. Don't forget to say that you are interested in this. Thank you very much for checking this video out. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these things, and I've had a lot of things pile up. But I am regenerating my bank as we speak, as I film this, with a lot of work, and so I'm really excited to check out all these movies. A lot of them I have seen, a lot of them I have not seen, and so let me know what you think down below. So like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.